I suddenly tensed up. I felt majorly uneasy. She was here. I quickly looked around the room, sitting up straight, before seeing Diana leaning against the window with a smirk towards me.
What do you want?
Oh, I just wanted to see how close Damien was to you. Obviously, he's very close.
I stood from the bed, glaring daggers at Diana.
And what's it to you? He doesn't want to leave with you, so leave him alone.
Oh, I will. I don't care enough for the bastard son to try and take him away. I just want you to know exactly what you have.
Why?
What are you talking about?
Diana chuckled, making me slightly sick to my stomach for some reason. She knew something.
Did Damien tell you about what he lived through?
I knew
All the blood on the floor and stuff?
He showed me when he left. He met with...
No, not that. Before that. Did he show you anything before that?
No.
Well, he was scorned by the Demon Lord.
He didn't show you everything, did he?
You know what?
Why would he need to? He showed me what he needed to.
I don't need to show her anything else.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit! I turned to see Damien glaring at Diana with a scary glare. I felt dark shivers run down my spine as I stared at him.
Ah, Damien. Right on cue.
Oh.
I was just about to show her why you hate your life and why you have a human fetish.
Whoa, Diana. Whoa.
You will not show her anything.
Oh, I won't. Funny, I don't believe you get to tell me what to do, bastard son.
I will kick you. I will... Before Damien or I could leap at her throat, Diana snapped her fingers, suddenly making the room spin. I quickly grabbed onto Damien, who held me close as the room began to change from my room to the demon castle. I don't want to see what he doesn't want us to see. I looked around, feeling unable to move from Damien's embrace out of dizziness. I looked at Diana, who was leaning on a pillar on the far side of the room with a smirk. However, my focus gathered on a pair of demons. One of them being the demon servant that was with the demon lord, carrying sheets and books across the room.
Books?
He tried to read, didn't he?
Damn that woman, ordering us around. I bet she thinks she's all high and mighty just because she bore that bastard son. Well, she's no queen. She's a simple harem girl. She'll never be queen. The demon lord reminds her that every bloody night. You'd think she'd let it sink in.
What?
The snort that erupted from the servant's nose disgusted me to no end. How vile was this creature? Who was he talking about?
And about that boy, what do the other noble sons think about him? They treat him like an equal. He's no noble son, and he will never be. He's a bastard child that doesn't know his place, just like his bitch mother.
I will tear your horns off!
Kick him in the dick.
Shh, you know he can read minds from a mile away.
Then let him read mine. I don't care. That boy's a monstrosity never meant to be born.
Did Damien kill him?
I will kill you and dance in your blood.
I hope Damien killed him. Ah, shit! The servant cleared his throat, however, at the sight of Demon Damien, who was standing nearby with an almost dead cold look on his face.
Ah, you.
Yes, me. I don't need to be a mile away to hear your thoughts.
Boy, what?
What I'm doing out of my room is no longer your concern. I may be a bastard, but I'm the Demon Lord's son regardless. I won't take insults from you anymore.
Kill him!
Then what are you going to do, bastard son?
Kill him! Damien started to step forward. I don't know why, but the room suddenly felt cold and dark as Damien started to approach the servant.
I'm finally gonna shut you up.
Hell yeah!
Yeah!
If you threaten me, you threaten him.
You're a servant!
Damien's glare could practically kill. I was afraid to even watch, but I continued, hoping to not see blood spilled from this fight, because that's what I do want to see. Damien continued to walk towards the servant, towering over him like a shadow.
I've taken your insults for long enough. Now, I get peace.
stay away.
Not so insulting now, are you?
I've had enough of you.
Damien stopped, turning his head to look up at the archway in surprise.
Mother?
What? Holy shit.
What?
Why is she just... The demon servant slowly turned, also matching Damien's surprise as they looked to the archway. A figure, completely covered in a red sheet, stepped into the hall, slowly walking to Damien. The thick sound of chains echoed in the room, dragging across the stone floor. I felt something in my gut tighten, unsure of what was going on, but positive something wasn't right about it. Oh, hell no. Oh, this is the trigger warning.
Oh god.
This is where the trigger warning is. My gaze slowly trailed to the stone floor, only for me to go wide.
There's a reason the sheet is red.
Blood brushed over by the sheet as the woman walked, painted the stone dark red, her almost black color in the woman's wake. I looked back to his mother, now worried that she was bleeding underneath the sheet.
Leave us.
The mother sounded almost enchanting, despite only saying 2 words in her arrival. I almost let it slip my mind that this was merely a vision. The servant glared before walking off, mumbling incoherently under his breath. The other demon with him giggled at the servant's inability to fight back. I guess Damien's mother was powerful enough to silence anyone. However, one fact stuck out to me. His mother was a harem girl? I imagined chains on her covered feet, making me frown. It was terrible to imagine.
What are you doing out? He'll hurt you if you aren't...
Oh no. Damien stopped. Oh no. Damien stopped talking, staring at the woman walking towards him in a sudden calm demeanor. A hand slipped out from the curtain and gently caressed Damien's cheek, making him almost melt into the hand. She had the demon voice. Damien looked to his mother, a look of hopelessness on his face.
Why do you want me to turn around?
Just listen to my thoughts, like you always do.
I watched as Damien slowly nodded and turned around.
As you wish.
Focus on my thoughts.
I could tell that Damien was holding his breath. He must have cared very deeply for his mother. It was incredibly sweet. Silence lingered in the room, obviously because of Damien listening to his mother's thoughts. It was almost awkward to watch. The hand that held Damien gently petted over his hair. The breath that Damien was holding slowly was let loose, letting Damien relax. Maybe she was calming him down. He was pretty angry, but why make him turn around? All she was doing was petting his head and talking to him in her mind. It seemed surreal. Something was wrong. I looked around the room trying to see what was going on behind the scene. Was someone going to stop them? Was someone going to interrupt? My eyes landed on a dark shadow of a woman walking towards the couple with a knife in her hand. She had shackles with chains on her neck, hands and feet, but they remained silent as the woman neared the couple.
I'm sorry.
All of a sudden, my mother brought out her other hand and took hold of Damien's horns, pushing him to his knees.
Damien, no!
The shadow quickly started to run at the couple, raising the knife higher above her head. I instantly wanted to move, to run and protect Damien. I remained still watching the scene unfurl before me.
No!
Damien kicked back, causing his mother to buckle and fall back and release his horns. Damien quickly turned and grabbed hold of the shadow's arms, tightening his grip on them. The shadow started to scream and bite at Damien desperately. Damien glared and threw the shadow at the nearby pillar, making it disappear and drop the knife it was holding. I looked to the mother and regretted looking. The sheet that was wrapped around her wasn't long enough to cover her as she fell, the edge landing over her stomach and covering her upper body. The lower half of her body, though, was covered with multiple different scars and blood. This is definitely an absolute trigger warning moment. I'm going to trigger warning implied
Trigger
rape
warning!
here. Trigger warning implied rape here right now. This is where it comes in. Her ankles were both shackled.
And torture and stuff like that.
Were shackled to different lines of broken off chains. Her legs were together, but I could tell the number of scars and the amount of blood only increased the farther up her legs she went. The poor woman. I stared at the demon Damien, looked to his mother in shock and heartbreak. The real Damien around me gripped me tighter.
Why?
In an instant, her mother raised her hands to the fallen knife, tensing her hand and fingers to bare her nails. The knife flew off the ground and into the woman's hand, making her grip over the handle tightly.
Enough. I can't. I don't want to live like this anymore. I won't let him have me again. I won't let you invade my mind again.
This is fucked up.
Damien shared the trauma.
Oh my god, because he could read her mind. The woman quickly got up on her knees and raised the knife over her head. I felt my mind screaming as I gasped.
I can't take it anymore! I can't!
No! Stop!
Enough!
I felt my voice vanished as I watched this woman, Damien's mother, slam the knife into her own body, curling over herself at the stab. After a choked sob and breath, the woman fell to the ground, curled into a ball as blood pooled from under her in the already blood-red sheet.
No!
The world around me shattered at his voice, stabbing through my heart and my stomach. Like glass, the world fell apart and I was left in darkness. The real Damien gripped onto me, burying his face in my shoulder as I gripped his arms. Did that really happen? What did I witness? Why would Diona reopen this kind of wound for Damien? Finally, the world reformed back to my room with Diana back by the window.
The Demon Lord, despite his sadistic pleasures, loved Damien's mother beyond anything else, even his own wives. When she killed herself, the Demon Lord blamed Damien and his ability to read minds.
He should blame himself for being a disgusting abuser!
The only ones who convinced him not to kill Damien were his brothers. So the Demon Lord granted Damien his life. But he would be doomed to become a lowly slave as soon as the eldest became lord.
I looked at Damien, who had a face of both murderous hatred and pure sadness as he glared at Diana. The woman glared, however, simply chuckled.
So, one day, he was visited by an angel who told him about humans and painted him a pretty picture about them. Now, he's obsessed with it.
Why are you telling me this? Why are you doing all of this?
To butter you both up, of course. I'm about to give him the chance to have his wish granted.
What price? Damien and I stared in pure disbelief. Was Diana serious?
She was a nut job.
Agreed.
Diana laughed, seeing both of our faces.
I needed to see how well you could handle his past. You can't have true love without seeing all sides of your love, now can you?
You say that like he did anything worth leaving him over. Diana then looked fully to Damien, crossing her arms. Something about this struck a fear chord with me, but I watched in silence.
I offer you this, bastard son. I have the ability to turn you completely human. No magic, no mind reading.
I highly doubt that's true.
You're lying.
Am I? Read my mind. See for yourself.
Damien stared at Diana, only to go wide-eyed at her.
You're not. But...
That's right. Your humanity for your brothers.
No.
Oh, shit.
He wouldn't do that to them. They were the only ones who stood up for him. He wouldn't do that to him. Them.
I looked to Diana in surprise. What? She wanted him to hand his brothers over to her. That was underhanded and cruel.
Think about it, Damien. You can finally be human. You won't hurt anyone anymore. You won't put her in danger.
I could see Damien look at me, instinctively making me look back at him. He had a look of fear, which scared me. Was he going to say yes? Was he going to say no? I wouldn't know what to do in this situation.
All I ask is that you completely willingly let me take your brothers back home. No big deal if that means you get to be a human with the girl of your dreams, right?
You can't do that.
No.
Good. I knew you
My
wouldn't.
sweet angel.
I knew he wouldn't do it because his brothers were.
His brothers were the only ones who gave him any semblance of happiness.
His brothers were the only ones who let him be alive.
Excuse me?
That's right. Fuck you.
I said no. I will not give my brothers over to you.
I could see Diana's anger flare up like a snake ready to strike.
You do realize what you're denying yourself, right? You're giving up your one chance to become human.
I don't care.
I'd rather remain a demon than let my brothers be your slaves. Now leave.
Diana gripped her hands into fists by her sides and glared daggers at Damien. However, she didn't move to strike. She raised one of her hands and rubbed her temple in pure anger.
Then I'm curious, Damien. What
Whoa.
would you trade for your humanity? You wouldn't go so far as to have sex with me for it, would you?
Whoa.
Whoa, back the fuck up,
That
lady.
is painfully. That is not consent. That is coercion.
Damien remained silent. I looked to Damien, expecting him to answer, but why was he not replying? My mind went into a mini frenzy. Was he willing to have sex with Diana for it? Diana let a large surprised smile appear on her face at Damien's silence.
Or would you? Interesting. And if I were to offer that?
Again, silence. Damien wouldn't. He couldn't. Not with her, no way. Yet, at the same time, I felt that he was the master of his fate. He had to say yes or no. It wasn't my place to decide that kind of change. One part of me felt betrayed, but the other part of me almost wanted him to go through with the idea. For Damien's humanity. Damien remained silent still. Why was he not making a choice? Diana turned her gaze to me before smirking.
Ah, I see. Well, I guess you've proven useless to me. You're not going to say yes with your little princess around.
A purple pentagram slowly appeared beneath Diana's feet, letting her slowly sink into it.
However, in case you do change your mind, call me. I'll be around.
And with that, Diana left us alone in my room. I finally let out the air I was unconsciously holding in my chest, relaxing from the ordeal. Damien stepped to me and held me gently, surprising me.
Are you all right?
I nodded in response, unable to speak so immediately after being surprised. Damien let out a sigh, relaxing in the embrace. I gently placed my hands around him, returning the embrace slightly. I could hear Damien's heartbeat. He held me close in his arms, and I felt safe beyond words.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I am.
I looked up at Damien, happy that he was okay. Damien blushed, moving a strand of my hair from my face to look down at me. However, he suddenly pulled away, looking down at his feet.
I should go. You still need rest.
Damien.
Before I could speak, Damien turned on his heel and rushed out of the room. I stood there, staring at the door in a daze. Did that really just happen?
Oh,
hell no!
You get back
There
here!
was no way I was letting him get away from me after all this.
You get back here!
I quickly followed him out of the room, spotting him turn the corner to go downstairs into the lobby. I followed quietly, unsure of where he was going, but determined to follow him to his destination. To my surprise, he turned a corner and pushed open a wall, sliding into it and closing it behind him. I followed and repeated the action, earning entry.
When did this?
How did Damien know of this place? I walked down a small flight of stairs and continued through the dark secret hallway, unsure of what to see at the end. What was my grandfather hiding in here? Was it a magic room? Was it a secret study? I didn't know. I felt steam gently brush against my skin, making me shiver slightly.
A boiler room?
Oh, this is never wrong. This is never good.
I was wrong.